Welcome to the RTS podcast, where we share real stories about values, culture, and entrepreneurship. Today, we're excited to welcome Martin Anae, founder and CEO of Blue Wave Moana Limited. With over 17 years of experience, Martin has led the way in digital media and technology in the Pacific. Yes, that's true. Through initiatives like Blue Wave TV and Blue Net, he's transforming how businesses and communities connect while promoting sustainability and creative storytelling. In this episode, we'll talk about Martin's journey and his innovative work and power of digital transformation. Also, appreciate your time today. It's good to have you. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Mo lava ko whawhakailo whionga mo ni ewa ngoa whenaka pasanga ma ngoa. I want to say thank you so much for having me here in your podcast.
Awesome.
Lava, this is what, the third?
No, actually, if you five, fifth, the fifth one. So I think, and yeah, really appreciate it coming from you, because I always admire, like, I've seen the growth of Blue Wave over the last year, and like you guys got the gear, but it's also the people behind the gear and actually making it happen and editing. We were just
Yeah.
talking about like some of your projects you got at the moment, and like when you're dealing with clients, it's a lot of back and forth, and we've done work as
Okay.
well, and it's and we'll touch on that actually, but I guess what I wanted to ask right off the back is who is Martin? Yeah, who's Martin?
Who am I? um, I grew up in Samoa, early 90s. Like, it was that journey that taught me only what I know today. Hardships. th- There's hardships everywhere. For Samoa, it's a bit. And most of what I know today is because of the background that
Where did you where did you from inside?
I'm from the beautiful village of Lutuanu,
Let's go.
and that's on the east coast of Upolu. My granddad had buses that operated out of, so like I was able,
That was his line.
yeah, and I was able to see the behind the scenes, like for day to day operations of businesses. See my uncle Ricardo knows, but making sure they safe to traveling public transportation. Also got to you know see how my grandfather really like my grandfather. Like if there's anything, I believe that you know his business was used into bit of that like rubbed off on my character. So like being where I'm at today, it's
Mm.
was I didn't think about it then, but it just comes so naturally.
Do you think that's natural, like being an entrepreneur, and like 'cause a lot of the time entrepreneurs are problem solvers are. Do you think it's like coming from SAR and like, obviously it's a different lifestyle in Samoa, it's a different type of heart, right? And do you think it's quite a natural thing for us Samoans to be um problem solvers, entrepreneurs, or what's your take on that?
If I've seen with the problem solving, yes. If we look at Blue Wave, like the formation of it was really to be an answer to
Mm,
and their problem was that, our Pacific businesses, they normally on they don't get the short. Like
mm, cool.
pe a compare I company la popo
Yeah,
comparison to
we could go.
larger companies. Like our people are really disadvantaged in
Mm,
a lot of areas, lack of resource, lack of funding. So the the problem is that, with these large organizations, they're able to afford digital agencies that are able to produce and develop marketing material, add value to the uh
and
and
offset the costs as
yeah,
well.
and that's why for only if you put like for example, if I can just borrow your water, like if you put these waters in front of you,
Mm,
you know, the the water bottle with the more branding and the more exposure will of course go off the shelves, but for our people, it can go on the other side
mm,
because they can't afford $80,000, $100,000 strategy campaigns. Uh, so going back to the lo kalanga for me problem solver. You know, olma ko nalo for me leli. Ole como fail se swangin kako. This is that.
Mm.
Like so with Blue Wave, we're able to produce the
Same
same quality,
quality. Yeah.
but at a cost that MFA kako specific businesses, not just on specific business, can afford. Once we do that, we're able to bring up our Pacific businesses to compete on that level. And you know, like competing on that level is very important because a lot of our Pacifico business either close early before they harvest, because they can't keep up. And if a Pacific business is selling water and a big corporation business is selling water, the big corporation would go further
Mm.
because of what they have. So, ole au nganga Blue Wave o se soangi le kako Pacifico business because we all have each other. You know, we may be scattered in islands.
Yeah.
A kako kukuva kasi. We're a big unit.
Yeah. It's so good, bro. And I've been fortunate enough to be a part of, you being able to serve our communities and also tell the story. Tell the story. And I think that's an important part about our culture is the storytelling, being authentic, and being like quality. But I think one of the things I like about Blue Wave more recently is like the current affairs, like everything is fast. You guys are like up to date, like, and you know, with our people,
Yeah.
yeah, free news on Facebook, but now you guys are on YouTube. We got like you guys streams. We got you're saying you got your Sports Talanoa program that gets thousands of viewers. But you guys are now on Sky. What has that journey been like? Because you talk about a business model making it affordable, but the same quality as these agency. Some would think that, man, that's not a sustainable business model, but you're here now. So really keen to understand, like, when you started as Blue Wave and that business model and how that was for you to where you are now.
Of Cayman for not easy because we're not saying that we're well off. No, as much as we're struggling to, is that we can't. When when people walk through the Blue Wave door, it's not just Samoans, it's Tongans, Tokelauans, Niue. You know, we're like the last resort for help. So if we say no because we don't have enough money or enough funds, who are these people gonna go to? And then how does that affect the reason why we built Blue? Because if I bear because if we collaborate, if we work together, we're able to achieve more like that because our Pacific people, that's the you worked at the ministry for Pacific people. You've worked amongst our people. We are better when we're in a community. Like we're in numbers or unstoppable, and that's what we need. E ke leo ke mi Romeo Fong e kangi dimo.
Mhm.
When I say that, like pockets. This year's been a no, and it's that kind of support that have with my friends. This is that we're able to still keep going because we need each other, and we need each other, and especially it came from being.
Yeah.
And with Blue Wave where it is right now, yeah, because if God didn't want it, we wouldn't. No, and this is our chosen path.
Mm.
So with the stories itself, or verbally passed down.
Yeah. Oral tradition.
Our history is written by Kramer. Yeah, Mangyapa. The for Okaku stories they were verbally passed down. Like for our one was passed down. So first time in history, mo penga kako archivinga ya kako stories. Not only that, it's the first time that we'll be able to tell our own story, own mouths. And that's something put out there. Because I think one of the questions here well was like, what was one of the biggest projects? That
Mm.
biggest projects or the project that I'm most proud of, not, not the biggest, but proud of the Pacifica language.
Mm.
Uh,
But I thought you were gonna say the recent king visit. I said it gives you more headaches. The biggest headache.
To me, that project that we worked on together, because you were part of MPP Giant,
Yeah, yeah.
we worked on the Pacific language 2016, but I believe it started in 7 by Fangasa, and then it was carried on by the ministry 2010. Um, but when we started with the Pacific language, it's not my first time. First time I worked with the Pacific community was the job at the working in Samoa for the United Nations. One thing that I'm grateful for the UN, not that it needs more plug-in or more advertising or exposure, is that I was exposed to our Pacific communities,
Mm.
and I realized that the challenges that Samoa faced were similar to Niue, Cook Island, Okela, also the lot of lack. You know, they, so when I worked on a Pacific language, I saw that. I saw the drive of our people, the desire to win, desire to, they're hindered by, and the resource. When would I end? Will stand up and, hey, let me help. And I see that MPP try to do that with languages. And it's so important that we survive, because once we lose the language, culture, we lose the culture. There's only color for Samoa.
Yeah.
Listen, nanga, listen, no, listen, upole. So I'm really grateful for MPP for that, for carrying on that initiative. And
Yeah, and even if, like, there was no MPP, right, it would still carry on now with the like, the resource, but I think the drive of the community, yeah, like, being a part of it, like, at that time when I was here working with you, but also just seeing how the language weeks have progressed and being key point, a key week, but also a key, turning point for a lot of cultures that have dying languages are. So,
I'm pretty sure you felt it too.
of course,
Like, lemos se Pacifica, MPP
yeah,
that didn't walk through that door and felt the need to serve. Like, yeah, like what you said earlier, in this night's um, changes to things, making it happen. And not only for the staff that was working there, but the community itself. We see Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, and the recent one, Umo, step up to the plate. And we got to see things that, we got to see and hear things that you about each other. But the great thing about it, um, them, not anyone else, who's just there with a book and pen and they're, oh, hey, I'm gonna make up words here.
girl, I wanted to touch on that, like, a lot of your work is revolved around community, but as a business, right, is your business commercial brain
Yeah.
and then your business community brain. How do you marry the two to make sure that you're fed, your family's fed, but also serve your people? Because we know when it comes to our community, they love to throw stones. They love to be your best friend at the same time. So I guess for our listeners here, it was like just we'll be keen to hear, some of the insights that you've been able to learn from.
Like, how do I marry the two?
Yeah, yeah. Like, when you're getting community, right? When you're getting, like, for example, you do a shoot and you think this is right, it's meet all the metrics of what you need for the brief, right? We're talking commercial language,
Yeah,
technical,
yeah.
which is what we do in business,
Mm.
but then a community member goes, "No, no, that's not wrong, that's wrong, it's the wrong pattern. It's a wrong pattern, it doesn't resemble." How do you manage that in a way that still upholds your values as a business person? Because if we'll when we think about the commercial world and Palangi world, it's a bit different. They do things a little bit differently. So how have you been able to incorporate those values into this?
I'm a big believer in you are a product of your environment. Afapela, you are like, this is the way that Romeo is.
Yeah.
One thing about our coaches that we gotta learn. So if you're coming in with that mindset and that attitude, you expect the next like that. Stand your ground. Be honest with the people that you work with. Like, hey, this is not gonna work, but we can get there by doing this.
Mm.
It's hard. Like, to be honest, sometimes in the books, it doesn't look as much as you want it to be, but the work is all the makeup. You know, if there's one thing that you wanna leave, is that that
Yeah.
our Pacific people is, like, the work that we do in the community up there for generations to so setting that tone when you first meet with the community, the business with other businesses. Okay, this is how Romeo works, and how he wants things done, but also for you to understand how they work and how they want things.
Yeah, setting those
Yeah,
expectations, being transparent and,
being
from
transparent.
the get-go.
Yeah, and there's one thing for Ngale that we set the tone at Blue Wave is that the quality is has to off. No, aua ngi fale kongole quality, o ngi fale kongole audio,
Yeah,
o ngi fale kongole
of
visual
course.
has to be because
Set the
yeah,
expectations.
it's about adding value to the product as well. You know, if you go back to the water bottle thing, you go to a dairy and you buy a water bottle, it like it probably costs $2. You go to the supermarket, $4. Go on a plane, that water bottle probably costs $10. It's the same water,
Yeah.
just that the value of that water is more. So if we add more value to the products that we create for our community, for our businesses, organizations, we'll buy it. So I think I just lost the question.
Yeah, no, that's so right. I think I lost the question too, but I was really engaged in what you were saying, and it kind of made me think about how, like, sometimes when you're working with community, and I do this, I work with community as well. A recent project that I did was because I help businesses get funding,
Mm,
and one of the community groups didn't have a website, or they weren't able to tell their stories. They've been like around for 23 years, but no written,
yeah.
no case studies. So I was able to get up their digital presence by a website through my services, and now they have a platform to tell stories, and then you can like the once you have that foundation, and then like you got to keep up with the times. Once if you're what's the saying? If you're not online, you can't be
Yeah,
seen.
yeah.
And
And I totally believe that, especially with our stories.
yeah,
You know, if it's not online, how else are you gonna and it's really important that we so and, you know, your podcast, when I first saw it, "Hey, I like this. This is a different angle I saw my yeah." If, you know, for other podcasters that are about to come up and thinking of doing it, see what angle that you can fit into a conversation, because it's really important that conversations are being had, because our Pacific people need to catch up. We are to speak technical. I was working in Samoa back in the early 2000s. One of the first projects I worked on when I was working at NZ Bank was the installation of we were like a decade behind.
oh gosh.
And you know the other thing that we
So how will people get cash? Go straight to the bank of the teller.
that's what I put up,
Oh my god.
like in the early
So that means
2000s.
no cards were around.
So this is where technology comes into play, and that's the other purpose of prepare our people for the changes, that changes don't just fall in front of them and then how do I so when ANZ was mission with all my marketing, a lot of outreach, how to use. We had to do brochures, language. Everything that we produced had to have some language on it. And it was such a beautiful thing to watch. It's like we were watching digital technology grow now. You know,
Everyone's got a phone. Now the access is there.
yeah, Digicel came in and got like new things that only we Australia, America, and the thing that I'm waiting for now, we got Starlink over there. But I hope that I'm not sure if it's open yet. But I remember when we went over for the King's ceremony at Siumu, wasn't so we connected to BlueNet to make it happen.
You had your own network server.
Satellite.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's one of the things from it that I probably one of the barriers too. Ole paalo I loa lea o me sa moa communication. and also the lack of proper infrastructure, and the costings are really expensive. So hopefully things
So
will
there's what Digicel and who's that? Yeah.
digital and Vodafone. But the growth the technology 100%. I mean, and it's
Mm.
to be part of that
So, like, a lot of the technical aspects do with, a lot of behind the scenes, right? People don't appreciate you do all this production and you guys are starting to produce content now, and publish blogs and do current affairs. In a time and age where people now, even in SAR, have access to information, how do you, what's your view on, like, because people have so much information, there's misinformation as well.
Mm.
And I guess that's been a part of your guys' journey in terms of providing quality current affairs. How have you been able to navigate that space as a new player coming into the islands and providing, um, yeah, um, uh, you know, a new service around current affairs and now media content?
Yep.
Is that like, guys?
Anything with you wasn't easy
Yeah.
in the beginning. For Blue Wave, we have a talk show called the AI, and then we have a program called Breaking Wave, and both programs talk about issues are sometimes comfortable. For example, break a whole lot of uncomfortable there, and some of the conversations just had,
Mm.
and then it's up to the viewer to of their opinion also that but that's the conversation. If you look at Tote as well, it's more of like daily issues that happen inside, and I believe that Asiata's like really gelled well in that area.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
I
bro, I love his energy, man. I love Asia's energy.
don't know if there's another broadcaster like him that can hold the crowd as well.
Mm.
So in terms of like for the credible news, I would say do your research. Like don't just rely on one news farm. Um, like Blue Wave TV doesn't have a news
Yeah.
farm. We had one, but we put that on the back burner for now. But yeah, if you come across news that you don't know, not sure if it's true, go to the usual. Like for me, it's always New Zealand Herald or RNZ
Mm.
that I use.
Yeah.
For the shows itself, yeah, we continue to bring the conversation.
It's really important, eh? Like, I think I love the platforms that we have available because, like, just like what you did around, it's up to the viewer to listen, listen fully too, listen with context. Yeah, sometimes things can be taken out of context, or some of your guys' recent videos are, and being able to form their own opinion, but also do your own research.
Yeah,
I think especially in today's media is, the media can spin, have their own angles and especially things around Pacific and South Auckland especially, you can have their own, his opinion of South Auckland, but I think it's, like, just like what you said, form your own opinion. Also, I wanted to, come back to your faith.
mm.
You kinda touched on it. Wasn't for God and was done for you in your life and business. But how has your faith been able to, shape, influence how you do business and life journey?
Without stealing every day, like what we may plan in a week, that doesn't. We ask for a lot of things. We ask for strength, and he gives us a really bad year.
'Cause he's building your strength. That's what he's doing is.
Like this year has been so hard, and like fast. When I talk to God, I'm talking about you talk. polygon. You wanted to be a this is what a businessman has to go through. It's also those times that build you. You know, if there's one thing from I can say about businesses, moments. You have a moment of realization, you have a moment of self-discovery. And, you know, it's that moment of self-discovery that God puts you through to really bring out who you are as a but whoever you
Mm.
but like sometimes we have staff meetings on a Monday, still opening. If you look at all the other media companies that are shutting down,
The whole industry is.
you know, like thinking it's a miracle that we can still afford to pay people in this building, pay the rent, to pay the OPEC.
Mm.
Because yeah, really, and that purpose going back to in Alpha build for Marco, the Swangi, everything we have to do. Because with you know, with helping the Pacific businesses adding that value to the will carry
Mm.
everywhere we go. It's like once you sign up to Blue Wave, you we become part of your team. So if you're like that, Watson, what's a good money transfer? I would say Pacific East. Ask me, Doctor, go to supply. It's my hardware. You know, you ask me about salmon products. So everywhere we go, we include our team and our we drop it into come that you know that they grow as well. That and podcast.
Good plug. Should we put on the logo at the same time?
But I went this time last year. I was in Pongo Pongo American Sun Vodafone Vodafone headquarters, waiting for you know this. And while I was waiting in a boardroom, they were passing around Fiji water. As you know, we have one of us. We're passing Fiji water. And I'm looking. Why is Fiji water? Why not Samoa water?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much Samoa waters. But then I remembered.
Do we have our own brand of salmon? Maybe when I get to salmon, I'm drinking the Sanger water. It's like a pack water, I don't know.
Ele foi vai sem ali Samoa. But you know, I was sitting. It was a table like this, like you know those big tables, and there's a Fiji water bottle in front of me, and I was like thinking, why not Samoa water?
Yeah.
And then I remembered that Vodafone, their parent company is Fiji.
Mm.
Oh, and then it's only right that they promote Fijian
Yeah,
products.
yeah.
That's what we should do as a Pacific this time. Akoko wo se me koko wo ma ave
Yeah, take
tako
each other
maraka.
out.
Yeah. And that's really important. Like if we go up there, we take the village with us. Because that's very important. And I believe all the or
Yeah. And I think it's been a common theme with like how this with my other guests around how they do business is collaboration. I think it's easier for us like for Pacific people. It's more natural for us to collaborate and compete. What was it? I was saying yesterday. Yeah, we'd rather be in collaboration than competition.
Ele kufa maungo sisi.
Yeah,
One is like we talked about it earlier, like our Pacific people and community space
exactly.
together as a unit. Oh, eh, Vala Vala no Kako. I think we're the we're the definition of that saying, you know, divided we fall. Or what is it again? United we stand, divided we fall.
Yeah.
I Koko, you know, we may be small, but if we come together to take on the challenges, you know, we'll be able to accomplish it more.
I wanted to just touch on the challenges. You know, you talked about how often sometimes when people come to you, they're the last resort, or you're the last resort to solving their problem around digital and digital transformation. But just wanted to ask you, Martin, what challenges have you faced leading digital transformation in the Pacific? Because you also, as well as dealing in NZ, you guys are in the islands as well. So what challenges have you faced?
Yeah, challenges my son, yeah, the usual challenge, money, but everyone's challenge. The second challenge in Pacific, and I know that
Mm,
and then it comes to remote area, LA activity, and
because there's still black spots are like,
a lot.
yeah, like remember over my village in Samakau, on the way to Samakau, like you don't get data, and the further you go to what Whalakai, there's blank spots there.
There's a lot, and I'm hoping on Starlink being on the island, able to diminish that,
Yeah.
able to improve that part. Because e ke le ngala vevea ia ngai kanga i uso ia ma ko whawhingia o whea.
Mm. People are getting into it too as well, and so
You know, we've done because like we have an office in Samoa.
yeah.
So the Blue Wave office in Samoa, they normally go do live streaming. And one of the brothers as well, his name is Josh, he owns Kingdom Production. Some of the problems they have, it's not their fault. It's the internet connection.
Mm.
All I live stream somewhere from one of our guai, like this is used for like
Yeah,
for
yeah. No, we actually for our Salfai, I
yeah.
think they were streaming out there, but I think the connection is good. The states residents. So uh,
But you know, okay, moving away from Falaga, this is another village. But they're going to the rural areas, like some of the problems they face is the connectivity. And then, you know, that thing drops and then you could see the comments, oh Mokwako. And then you know, I feel for them because everything else is complete.
yeah,
Like all the
they've got the
gears,
camera views. They've got yeah.
the only thing I okay on the internet connection. And you know, it doesn't really paint the picture of how good that person is or how good that business
Mm.
is. It's unfair. But hopefully with Starlink, you know, it works out better for those people in Samoa and also here in New Zealand.
I think we need to give Elon Musk a makai. That's why, and he'll give it free.
So, Elon Musk, kuaya ka koe whemesanga angai. Anae Elon Musk.
There sounds nice all the time. Bro, I wanted to yeah, like connectivity. Hey, it's massive. Hey, and every time you go to the islands, it's always making sure that you have the right data plan. But there's only so much you can do. As soon as you hit the raw
Mm.
spots, is blank spots. So um let's go. Hopefully, I know Elon Musk can make it right. 'Cause, for your knowledge in the industry, 20 plus years, what advice would you give to Pacific entrepreneurs that want to make a difference in this space?
We're just starting up or current.
Whatever. Take your time. Take your time.
For those who are thinking to jump onto the entre- entrepreneur field, be ready. It's not easy. There's a lot of uncertainty in areas, but ako koleli of a lot of determination to keep going. Past years of operating blue, good week. It's like damn. My advice for entrepreneurs, give up. You don't believe. I believe in.
Yeah.
You're gonna need your support system, family. You don't take it out on them. There are times and try and enjoy it as well, because it is a journey. Fue you know, that's why life. Really, yeah, that would be my advice. Must put
Oh, bro, and I can test it too. It's like, we caught up. business breakfast, last one, previous one, you mentioned, 7 weeks in, full-time entrepreneur, bro, and, like, these are sort of the things. So, like you said, man, I find my days where I question myself, question my business, but look at my family, I look at my kids,
Your
I look
wives.
at my wife. Mm, that's what motivates me, regardless of, because God often, right? You pray to God. Like if you pray to God, God will answer your prayer, but you just don't know how it's gonna happen or unfold. Yeah. And the things that God's putting in front of you, the barriers or the nations, is shape you to be that person that that will overcome it, and you'll be better off for it. And I think perspective is another thing. I think at the end of the day, if like I speak for myself, like I give this a go, give it a crack. At the end of the day, the worst that can happen is that go get a job. I'll go try find a job. And some in other cases, some people have different circumstances, but I think perspective is also another thing, because sometimes you can paint the worst picture in your head,
Yeah.
of what could happen, what if, but if you're being kind to yourself and also being a visionary of, like, positive things, then I think that's a very empowering thing to have. And like going back to your faith, strong and all for faith in what God wants for you.
Kailan ka lo faith really. So like
Mm.
Kefosia.
Yeah, we need it.
I mean, it's the people around you that help you. I'm very fortunate. Not like I stick to them. Just that, when I go to, I'll always avoid negativity away from.
Yeah.
But for the milk come fai pipi, ngaka ikan all the people who talk about progressful, because it's there that it will also open your mind. So like God puts you in those. God will give you the people to help you roll that boat. Because I'm cool for he unging out there or they're all like they fall longa me o kaku kangaka how they came navigated.
Either
That's why this is our history. This is how we're meant going together. So it's funny how God with our people.
that's the way that we're brought up, like you were saying. But in a Western society, it can be difficult because in the Western culture, right? You go, let's just go move out of home, go and get married, and you go live somewhere else. But traditionally, in our families, if you go back to the village, we all live together, intergenerational homes, and I think, um, yeah, it's just interesting. I was refreshed by what you were mentioning around, um, we this is how we work together. We come together as one, and I think about how important of family and friends and those connections and
Yeah.
positive. And sometimes, um, you know, family can be those negative people.
They can make you, they can break you.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, they're still your family.
yeah. And so, like, sometimes our family can be the hardest critics, but it's just how the energy. At the end of the day, they're your family. They're your blood. But you got to look after yourself as well, and so that's really important.
I think as well how you choose to interpret it.
Yeah,
I believe some family members are critical so that, when you're faced in public or wherever you go, you don't fail. So you kind of like remember that. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
remember that.
Oh, that's what my auntie said. This.
Yeah, so like, eke oa it's you, but I go for a family member.
Mm.
I know from my family, like very strong support in the family. And I believe like if they are being critical, they try not to see the negative as try to see the positive side.
Yeah, cool.
What's that say?
Mm. Mm, yeah, this brings a good point there. Also, we're just wrapping up towards the end of our talano today. I'm really keen to hear about like obviously it's been a tough year,
Mm.
but being as a part of business, it's just about like when there's periods like this, it's about surviving. And there will be with these rallies, there's hills, there's the moving forward. For Blue Bay, what's the vision? Are there new things coming out? What can you share?
Well, what I can share is that we're titled 2024.
Yeah, yeah.
We're looking forward
Don't worry. Also,
to
there's only a couple more weeks left.
4 weeks. Well, we're looking forward to 2025.
Yeah,
You know, I'm optimistic, positive, lining up projects because you don't prepare yourself, why not get there's a lot of collaborations happening next year, working together, business. It was like 2 weeks ago. I had a different business
yeah.
at
Shout out to this one. Laura.
with Laura at the Pacific Business. We're talking about like, what kind of at. That's another second meeting where we will stakeholder departments see how they can, because it's like a lot of the meetings that we have, I'm grateful for it. Like I'm grateful for it as well. But it's about turning that dialogue into,
Yeah, action.
it's like ole kako ke mi, it's very valuable, really important that we get something out of it. So I'm hoping for 2025 to be for Blue. Wrapping up today's, after this I have to go to Coach Talanoa filming last show. That's up. Most of the staff get off.
You going on a break?
Oh, I'm working with Asiata during the whole that guy went to the States for 3-4 weeks now. So that's his Christmas leave gone.
Yeah.
But no, we're working through Christmas to New Year. Preparing for, but ani imai agap kami mure korfa. Yeah, the platform with you today. Thank you to for
Okay.
for making sure that the audios are working and the visuals.
So now, what you shared today, I think it will provide a lot of value to our listeners today.
I hope so.
So, lastly, the last question is usually the deep question I like to ask, and it's hopefully you'll be able to share something. But what's a legacy that you want to leave behind?
Every people. The the reason for the draws, and but if you're an entrepreneur listening to this, build some build something. If there's one thing that will build aspect businesses, like what Karen and I were talking about this year, that so for small akoko, but that's the legacy I wanna that our Pacific with a blue wave concept, like blue wave that come. I just want same playing field as other, because in the beginning, I think it was the beginning of our conversation, is like It's advantage, yeah, advantage. You know, they have the desire to win, but there's so many things that hinders them. You know, people gimong ma they say, "Oh, wala mafing." Iorangi, you know, at the end, umakiva sanga ikako kangi kako lima vongale, but we stand together. Yeah. That's it. But I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to the sponsors and the partners of this program. And also thank you to the sponsors and the partners of Blue Wave. We wouldn't be here for you guys and your prayers, our families. Ainga whape fo ia sunga whape ngalo whapenga bongo mungu a wase mangu e ngi kampangi whakova e whakavalo fiona. Whatever.
I love that, Martin. Yes, thank you to our future sponsors. So thank you for your time today, man. I know you got sports talent, but awesome.
Thank you.
Baby.